Charlotte Ryan, my fantastic co-host here, took to the streets for the last time in 2017 and asked this question.
Who should Winston Peters choose, Labour or National?
Labour.
I guess for us, National.
Well, he's got to go with the majority of votes, which is National, I think.
National.
Jacinda, just let him go for it. Don't go near him.
Is Labour or National?
National.
That's up to Winston Peters, but I reckon he should choose Labour because we've had enough National.
National and Labour should get together and he should stay out of it.
Do you think I'm going to put that publicly?
I don't know.
Labour.
I think he'll go with National, but I'd quite like him to go with Labour.
I think he'll choose National.
I would prefer any government without Winston, to be honest.
I'm hoping he's going to go with Labour.
Labour, of course.
Come on, Winston, let's do us Māoris proud and go for Labour.
Labour?
Do you think he should be our next Deputy PM?
I think so. He's been there before and he did a pretty good job.
No, he wasn't elected.
I don't think that would be everyone's first choice.
Possibly. Not great, but no.
Yeah, absolutely. He's probably the best politician New Zealand's ever had.
Well, who knows? Well, who knows? Hey, let's go to you, Charlotte.
James has got some winners and losers of this year's election.
Yeah, I just wanted to start with the losers first. I think we have to acknowledge that Bill English was a loser in the sense that he's stuck with Winston now. I mean, don't get me wrong, he got back up. It's all coming up Millhouse for the whitest Samoan chief in the world, but I do think we have to acknowledge that he's stuck having to negotiate with Winston, which I don't know if you're around in '96, isn't going to be a fun time. I think Phil Twyford is probably a loser on the night as well, because Chinese-sounding names was probably worth 2%, bro. And I'd say truth, just the concept of truth is also a loser, because there's an 11.7 billion tax hole, like I pay child support, all right? I don't have kids, but if everyone goes and talks to every news outlet about how I'm not paying child support, I'm going to be walking down Wellington this weekend with people going, Nokise, pay your kids, all right? For winners, I'd say Jacinda Ardern, because she made the election cool, and we didn't have to worry about being all boring again. And then I'd also say Shane Jones. Shane Jones is back, and he's bought crayfish for his cray-cray party. And then David Seymour. David Seymour, because he made me actually feel sorry for him. And David, if you're watching, and I know you are because you have nothing else to do, you have friends, David. You have friends. Call them, David. Get well. Wallace.
James Nokise, ladies and gentlemen. In my opinion, one of the finest political satirists in the country. So it's really great to have you on the show, James. Thank you so much. So many things to unpack about Winston Peters, but let's talk about the Maori seats. Eugenie, how important are they to Aotearoa, do you think, the Maori seats?
Well, in terms of Tuaroa and Marama Fox, they will be missed from Parliament, but Labour's obviously got all the Māori seats. We've got strong representation in the Green Party with Marama, missing Matiria, but Māori causes can be represented by other parties.
How important are Māori seats, Chris?
Oh, they're very important, and I'd like to tautoko to Tamati Coffee, who we made a clean sweep on Saturday night, which made our Māori caucus the biggest we've ever had in Parliament.
All right.
Yeah. I've answered your question.
All right, Tracy, how important to Aotearoa are Māori seats, representation?
I actually don't know. That was why we wanted to ask the question. I actually don't know. I don't know. You'd have to ask the question.
What do you think?
I'm telling you what I think. I actually don't know. I would need to ask the question and talk to other people about it. I don't have the faintest idea.
All right. In a personal capacity, Matt Ducey, how important are Māori seats to you?
Well, I mean, for National Party, we obviously don't stand any candidates in Māori seats. I think it's for the Māori to decide about Māori seats.
Yeah, all right. Let's go to the audience on this one, Charlotte. We haven't had much. Let's go to Damien Christie. What does he make of Winston Peters and where he'll fit in a new government? Is he excited about this concept?
What do you think? Firstly, who do you think Winston's going to choose, Labour or National?
I find it quite hard to... I just don't know, because there's one thing... I spoke to some mathematicians before the election. They'd been doing some research as to who was the most predictable politician in terms of what they said. Mathematically speaking, one politician was completely off the charts, Winston Peters. It was such a good story that Winston Peters is the most unpredictable politician, mathematically, scientifically proven there is. And right now, the guy that's going to choose the future of the country is out the back of here having a cigarette.
I thought he'd
ciggies?
I don't know, and that's how unpredictable he is. Who knows whether he's smoking or not? But there he is out the back. If you want to get in the coalition with Winston right now, out the back of the backbencher pub, in the sort of gutter out there's about half a dozen people gathered around Winston having a cigarette.
Interesting. Okay, well, do you think, how important are the Maori seats to you?
I think the Māori seats are very important. I think what we've seen this time has been really interesting. There's been that sort of collateral damage of, a few terms with the national government. I think it's very hard to have your own identity, and maybe, I think even the Māori Party were recognising that this time and starting to say before the election we're more sort of going on the other side of things, but they didn't have time to make it happen, so yeah.
Damien Christie, it's such a treat to have you here.
Good to have you. A round of applause for Damien Christie. My God. It's kind of like the time machine. It's kind of weird for me, actually. Like, as I say, it's here for 8 years. But around the panel, I mean, could we see, Matt, Winston Peters as Deputy Prime Minister?
I'll leave all that coalition talks to my leader.
Yeah, but Matt, you've got a great mind. I mean, can you see it happening, or?
Oh, I think I'll leave that to my leader.
Oh. What about you, Tracy? Can you see that being a reality, or?
I've seen it. I've seen it before in my lifetime, Winston Peters as Deputy Prime Minister. And I'm pretty sure he set up in Russell, been there, done that.
Yeah, what about you, Chris?
I'm thinking many things, but I'm not going to say them.
What did you make of his last sort of stint as Deputy Prime Minister?
I can't remember. I wasn't around.
Oh, right, okay. What about you, Eugenie?
It's a process of negotiation. We've got MMP. It will have to be a coalition. We negotiate.
Why is everyone so frightened to say anything? Is it this intense? Are the talks going to be this intense, Tracy?
Yeah, they are.
Right.
They are. It's that close. Yeah.
Do you really think we want to stuff it up on backbenches?
Yeah.
Matt, why are you for, all of a sudden, like the atmosphere changed? You four, it is so intense right now. Matt?
Oh, I think the reality is, Wallace, as a backbencher, I'll probably read about the result in the paper like you do.
Eugenie, final thoughts?
There's a lot at stake here in terms of the policies and programs for the next 3 years to make a better Aotearoa.
Yeah. It's the
It's a
future of
country
the
we're talking about.
Yeah, it's
It's
a country we're talking about.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.